This is called I'm Back. I missed something from Mama. And so I'm going to give people a minute to come in. But I was sitting here and it was like something is missing. I'm not telling the people something that's a critical piece of information need to get out. And I think I know what it is. I think I have to clarify how the system grid is different from the earth grid. And the women of the earth is tied to the earth grid. But this social grid, that's the creation, is the matrix. That's the illusion of life within your life, because they have you working to maintain the system, but you're not working to build anything legacy-wise. It's not giving you the opportunities to see beyond this insurance, mortgage, estate, settlement, debt. The illusion, the conclusion of the illusion can only be derived from exposure to the illusion. Saturation with the illusion becomes blind to even be able to see it anymore, because once you saturated with it, it's all the way through and through. So you need somebody who didn't ever fit into that system in order to see the aberrant nature of that system, so that you understand why it's a fraud to begin with. Earlier, the sister was in the video, and I was leading off to other topics because it was information that she was dangling for or knocking for that would give clarification on so many different levels of different things. Then the other sister came in on the grid. She's trying to understand this grid system falling. So I was explaining to her different grids. The flipping of the electromagnetic grid of the earth makes the energy frequency of the earth readjust the organisms of the earth on a balanced frequency. While we operating right now in a double masculine polarity, those is repulsive to each other. So those repulsions have to give way to what's naturally attractive. And this is how we raise in the matriarchy, is we getting to the point where the wisest ones contribute the most information to the conclusion, because we solving the problems that we created as we went through this last cycle called the Piscean age. The universal law mandates that at the close of every age that all of the things that you did have to be refreshed for the next generation, the next system, the next frequency wave. We going from the Piscean age plus to an Aquarian age norm, right? So when they say, well, show me an example is behind the scenes, we already know they call themselves Zionists, but we don't know that they call themselves Moors. So I show them to y'all. They did that shit. I wasn't born yet. I wasn't born when none of them pictures was taken. And then I looked at the Noble Drew Ali picture, and we the many, they the few. Not only are they the few, they masquerading as us. Then they hiding behind somebody don't look like us. So now you got rabbis starting to say, well, look, that was behind the ADL. That's a whole nother ball game. It was like that. I mean, shit, we just converted to this shit. Them the real deal. So now we looking at how are we going to know? Well, this is how we know. We watch it unfold. As it unfolds, it's like, okay, there go that part. And there go that part. This shit ain't no prophecy, nigga. This is a plan. And you can pass the plan off as a prophecy if you want to. But the execution of the plan has been flawless with no mother. Everybody has been what they say in the military, high and tight. Did they shit to the maximum capacity of doing dirt without you never seeing who they was. That's not easy. Remember, the mafia, the five families, the Italian mob in New York got an answer to somebody in Sicily. Go back to the movie The Godfather when Sonny, the hot-head, red-head son, was telling Don Corleone, he was like, I'll get some backwards rock throwing, and he slapped him upside the head and say, Psh! They was just saying that shit about us a couple 100 years ago, nigga, before we got lightened up a little bit over here in the Americas. But when you go back over there to Sicily, niggas look like niggas. That's what it is. More is just the Greek way of saying nigga, which is the Latin way of saying black, which is the legalese way of saying dead. Right? So, take sole jurisdiction of the living and the dead, you have to take charge of Galactic Council Seat 50, but you can't because that's my spot. So I just moved to a superior jurisdiction to claim the right to restore the balance. If you put a car together properly, it should run the way it was designed to run. Earth was designed to run with a matriarchal government. So, bring up the matriarchal government. Oust these rogue patriarchs with this rape campaign, energy harvesting adrenochrome and body parts and selling organs on the black market for absorbent amounts of money while we acting like this shit not even taking place. If it don't happen in my house, it can't be happening in real life. Exclude the possibility and you increase the probability because of believe that you don't believe they gonna do this to you. That's exactly what they gonna do to you. Don't have no compassion. They don't have no understanding of people going through a struggle, right? But I'm gonna take two people, and then I gotta go get ready because I got Brother Rich Patreon channel to go to at 9:00. So I might because I gotta roll me up some shit before the end. So I'll probably let this one. I'm gonna take these two callers and if we'll figure it out. Let me see. Yeah, I'm over here doing my little chiefing, so I'll be saying some shit kind of sometime. Hey.
Hello,
How you doing?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing well. Where you calling from?
Delaware.
Delaware?
Yes, Delaware.
What part of Delaware you at?
I'm by the ocean.
You know where Seaford at?
I do.
Yeah, I used to stay in Seaford. I used to stay in Georgetown.
Really? I am from Laurel.
It's all right up in there together. I used to work at the chicken factory.
What year? Like,
Um,
my father and my mother met at the chicken factory, like Mount Air, Purdue,
I was at Townsend.
Raphael.
Um, I don't remember.
No?
But
Okay.
it was back in like 80, 89 when I
Okay.
worked there.
You might have passed. Wow. This is interesting. Interesting. Yeah, you might have known my father,
Who is he?
Raphael Gray.
I might, but I know the Rodriguez family.
Okay. No.
Um, they stayed in Seaford.
Wow.
My brother-in-law is from up there, and that's how I ended up there working.
Okay. All right. Well, my father's people are originally from Georgia, Florida way. Um, so yeah, came up here picking fruit.
Yep.
It's a long time to talk to you.
What you want to talk about?
I guess I knocked a while ago trying to figure out some things, and I don't even know where to start. Right. I feel that I've heard whispers, right, in my dreams, and I've received messages through my dreams. And then sometimes when I'm blocked, I send messages to other people and they come to me, and just some of the synchronicities that hit can
Mm-hmm.
overwhelm me. And I feel sometimes under I've questioned what my purpose is, right? I've, I say that I've fluttered these different rooms or these different spaces with people, and I felt like I got caught in a war. And
You absolutely got caught in the war when you was born here this time. You were definitely in the middle of a war.
right, um, but some of these other dreams I've experienced. My daughter experiences them as well. She wakes up and gives me messages. She's extremely gifted. I'm late to the game, right? I This is something that hit me.
Stop lying to yourself. You ain't late to the game. You came in right on time. You stop telling yourself you late to the game because that's delaying. It's creating a glitch in your vision.
Okay.
You right on time. You right in pace. You came when you supposed to came. You showed up on time.
I've come up. I think I found myself in spaces where people have read more books than I, and some of the things that have come into my dreams, I would speak to some people about, and I felt like I was being dumbed down, like I was delusional, right? There's things that I know that were being either sent to me or someone else, and I tried to give that message, and I don't think it was received. And I questioned, which I say I ask for forgiveness when I question, right? That, like, what is my purpose of knowing these things if people aren't going to?
Stop. So don't question that no more. Your job as a messenger is to deliver the message. You don't have to receive the message
Mm-hmm.
for them. You pass the message on. You're a relay.
Okay.
You the mail lady. You gave them the bill.
Okay.
That's your part.
Okay.
What they do with their part, that's not your responsibility. It has nothing to do with you. Long as you do your part, you receive your reward from spirit for being obedient to what your heart told you to do.
But in relaying these messages, I feel like I had things thrown at me. I know for a fact I had things thrown.
Yes, you absolutely gonna have tomatoes strung up on you while you live on stage, outperforming them because they thought they was on the stage and found out they in the audience. Yes, they gonna throw rotten tomatoes up at stage at you. You shining.
And then I feel like I got blamed because of what happened when they threw those.
Because they're not gonna take accountability for doing their own dumb shit. I didn't only took a tomato because you was on stage, and I thought I was on stage. Stop be. Don't be nobody whooping pad. Don't let them fill your back with spikes. There's nowhere in the rule book where it say that you have to be a victim. But in order to be a victim, you have to consent to that.
Absolutely.
But it's not in the rule book that you have to be.
Okay.
The rule book say, let the gold in your heart shine into the world and become the light amongst men.
Thank you.
Stop asking for permission and start getting orders. Stop taking the back seat when you got all of the qualifications and you follow. Take a step back, go into the dark space of the self, turn off your lights, make up your own mind to be your own self leader, and watch how others follow. Because when you learn what you need to know about yourself, that's going to empower you. You're going to affect other people because they're going to be drawn to that level of empowerment.
So I have this recent dream. I found myself, I was in a pool. I wrote about it on my page. I was in a pool and I was dressed in black lace with a veiled woman. And there was a creature that popped up and it called me. So I went below the surface, and under this surface, beautiful, just, it was rivers and waterfalls and trees, and it was just beautiful. And when I
You're
found,
describing the way Venus used to look before the Great War. You might be a Venusian.
I was
You
born on,
might be going through a past life regression. Venus was a water world before the war.
okay.
It was very feminine, just like Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And like the leaves they looked like the movie The Avatar.
It was similar. It definitely gave Avatar vibes.
Yeah.
And then when I got up, I heard the call again. She called me, and I rose. And when I rose, I was dressed in white translucent garments. And then when I came back up, she told me to go find James and Angel for guidance and direction. And I found myself in a school when I was questioning what I was doing there. When I went into the office to ask for James, Angel appeared, and Angel took me and guided me across this parking lot or pointed me to across this parking lot to this like old building. And I went into this building. It was almost like a terminal, and there was gold numbers, and I'm hesitant to say where I was being directed just because I want to keep that private. But I seen where I was being directed, and I don't want to go into the frequency of fear, right? But I still questioned, what am I supposed to do with this gift? Because when I say I've had dreams where I was hit at one point, and I was hit by a car in a dream. And when I woke up, I had the bruise on my leg in the same spot that I was hit. So like that freaked me out. And I called one of my friends to reach out because she is extremely gifted, she's extremely gifted. Uncle Rod, what am I supposed to do? And then how do I discern if that message is for me or if that's for someone else? Because shortly after I got hit in my leg, a couple of days later, someone that I had just met, maybe within like a week or two times frame, their brother was hit by a car, a hit and run. So I don't know if that was like some type of premonition And then I felt like I was too late because I didn't know where that message was supposed to go.
It wasn't for you to prevent it, or else you would have knew where the message was supposed to go. You needed to know what was going to happen so that you can know where your abilities are. You haven't, so it's a certain training, like warrior training, that I would ascribe for you to go through, right? So what I'm doing is I'm gonna have you inbox me because I would like to do this on a live and give you all of the book references and all of that stuff. I think that'd be cool, but it's some other stuff that I want to go into, um, and I need to look over a few other materials because I want to line up something that's going to empower you and also help you understand your gifts. When you understand them, you can control them better.
I,
The more you understand your gift, the better you can control it. And the better you can control it, the easier you can relay it to where it needs to be, and the accuracy will be uncanny. That would be the part that you would keep to yourself because the accuracy level that you tuned in for can be so literal that it's almost as if you causing it to happen when you tell people, but it's already at play.
right.
Right. So you need some psychic self-defense lessons. You need some warrior training, and shit, I'd send your ass to boot camp for physical fitness and mental challenge. Because once you get your confidence level to where your spiritual level is, watch out, world. You
Thank you.
got the gift, but you still don't understand how you're supposed to use it because you still don't trust yourself to use it correctly. Because you know in your heart of hearts with great power comes great responsibility, and that's what you're running from.
Because I get in trouble. Spirit snatches me fuck up when I don't do right. I get snatched. So I listen. But I get in trouble. I know I do.
Yeah, you straight though. You got you on, and you say your daughter got the same abilities.
She does.
How old is she?
She's 5.5.
You start training with her. She's gonna empower you by teaching her how to harness hers. And I'll tell you what to do.
So
Um,
I tell her sometimes where to go. And I also tell her who to go to. And when I knew that things were coming my way, that were being thrown at us, um, she travels. And I've tried to keep her from traveling by doing like gritting her bed and things like that. But when I tried to do that, she would come into my room the
she
day
had nightmares.
and like she even woke up a couple like I want to say a week ago and told me something, and I was just like, okay.
So my son used to panic when he traveled because he's seen in the spirit realm. He's seen giant zombies fighting giant robots.
Hmm.
And this was the conflict going on in the spiritual warfare on, I think, sixth dimension at that time.
So I'm not educated on the dimensions, but I know that there's like I even woke up yesterday or today and I was just like something happened and I'm tired. I was fighting. I know I was. Um and
Because your highest expression is a warrior. And that's why you need warrior training to bring it to the forefront.
I wrote this like this. This is what I say often. You wrote this
Yep.
like really?
This is exactly right out your book of life. You've been being soft on yourself because you don't want to push yourself to be as great as you could be.
I know. I know. I know what to do to I know in some instances when I need to gain clarity or have like a very clear dream, I know exactly what to do. And I have found myself sabotaging that. And I know that that comes with doing more shadow, right? But I feel I've been tired. I've been tired and I've put in a lot of work. And I know work that needs to be done.
Right
But
now, start with this. Get a Tai Chi instructional video for children and do that with your daughter as a bonding exercise between the two of y'all. Then also take spiritual baths
I do those.
and well, now it's getting cold, so for grounding
Hmm.
you'll get potting soil
Hmm.
and pack it down in the box,
Hmm.
and you put your feet in there in the house like you soak it in water, only
Hmm.
you sitting on the dirt.
So that there was one time I woke up real early and Spirit told me to go to the ocean. And so I started getting dressed and it was like, no, you need to get in the ocean. I'm it's like 50 some degrees outside. Like get in the ocean. So I bundled up and I went and I prayed and I sat on the beach and I heard like go in. So I went in and I felt like this cleansing, right? Um, and as I was traveling home, my best friend called me and she said, I had a dream. I had a dream that you were having a home birth and you were giving birth in the water, but your doula, your midwife called and said that you were having complications and you had to go to the hospital. Um, and I literally just started bawling, right? Because the purpose of me going, I knew that there was something that was on me that I had to get off, right? Something that I needed to release. And it was just, I love when I have those messages, right, that come and that confirmation that comes from someone else that's like, you are on your right path. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. Um, I just know that I need to be running. Yeah.
That's okay. So when you start running and the wind blow on you,
Hmm.
it's gonna bring your memories that you're looking for back.
Okay.
They caught in the atmosphere, and you already subconsciously know running is what's going to open up your gifts.
Okay. I,
Yeah. But inbox me. I'm gonna need a couple of days to put a program together. But the Tai Chi and the spiritual baths and the grounding is the first steps. And do it with your daughter as a team sport because she's gonna inspire you, and that's gonna boost your confidence because you her protector, her teacher, and her guardian, and you teaching her what you learning in real time. So you giving her all of the tools. By the time she get your age,
mm.
she might be able to walk on air.
She's her started that I started to take note, right? She woke up one day, she was like, Paul Rain is he was in a storm. We have to call him. I'm like, okay. She was like, no, we have to call him. I'm like, okay. She called her Paul Rain, and sure enough, he was like, who told you that? She's like, mm-mm. He was like, I was in a storm driving, and it was raining, and I was extremely scared. you know, and she's told me some other things where I trust what she says. I listen to my 5-year-old sometimes. Absolutely.
Right,
Because
because the ancestors can come through elders and the youth easier than they can us in the prime of life because we be so cluttered with life that
mm-hmm,
we can't hear them.
right.
And that's why I say practice self-talk so you can recognize when your higher self talking to you versus one of your ancestors that's going to try to take some of your power away. You can check them to cure generational curses. And then all of the ancestors that's about the right thing, they gonna back you up because they over there where you at. So you can't physically slap him in the head, but they can.
Okay.
And
Before you dismiss,
so as soon as you call them on their shit, because they're gonna come through and try to influence you, you can take another drink. And you like, that's not my voice. Who the hell is that? Oh, that's Uncle Charles. That's trying to get me drunk
I'm gonna show
so I
you.
can feed his energy.
I'm gonna picture. I want to see if you recognize him.
Okay. Mm, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Since you mentioned the chicken plant, that's why I was wondering. So, but
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned going to the ocean. I
mhm,
started laughing because when I was staying in Georgetown, right, we
mhm.
went down to Rehoboth Beach.
Right. I live. Yeah. I live nearby.
So I got drunk, right, and, and dived my ass in the ocean.
I've definitely done that before.
Hold up. The next morning, I woke up. I had sand in my eyes, right, and it had made this crust all over my eyes. And when I peeled the crust out, I was like, "Ew." Hey, look, I had sand in my ears, sand in my nose, sand in my mouth.
I mean, we go to the beach year round, so we go to the beach for year round. They're saying everywhere in my truck. It's just the way of life for us. So
It's Ocean City still jumping.
I don't go down to Ocean City much. I stay close to like Lewis, Dewey, Rehoboth area. So Ocean City it is. So like secrets and things like that.
Yeah, I want to go down there again. I had a blast last time I went.
Come on over. Come on.
Yeah, that's a tempting offer.
Yeah. I can set you.
Rehoboth.
There's some places I can set you up. I thank you, and I will inbox you. I thank you for your time. I've been following you. Can't recall when I came across you, but I thank you. I do.
I appreciate it and make it worth it to receive the gratitude.
You know.
I went through a time where
Yeah.
they ask me a question, and then when I tell them the truth, they get mad. That
Right.
ain't that. That's not the script you supposed to run. I ain't no Christian. I ain't no Muslim. I ain't no Jew. So if you can't handle the truth, I can't cater to your feelings. Hey,
Hi.
how you doing?
Good.
What you up to?
I'm trying to find the cap to this.
You trying to find the cap to that? Did you look under the couch where you was playing it?
I I have my own little white tent. Want to see the creations I made?
You know this shit make my day right.
I know.
That's how you
So,
know. That's how you know when your goodness is seen. When the children want to show you what they doing.
mhm.
They
So
ain't gonna, they ain't gonna fake it.
they're not, and they're not. Is that what you're doing right now? You want to show?
Ooh, what you paint there? What you draw? Tell me what you drew. What's that one?
What you call it?
I don't know yet. I'm still
You don't know yet?
round it up.
It's right here, Mother.
Okay.
You just doodling. You gotta shut that door because it's loud. So there was one dream that I had that woke me up out of my sleep. And it took me months. This happened in November, okay? And I tried to figure out, so I was listening to a song on repeat. And it was a song that was created by someone that was close to me. And when I found myself in a bathroom, and I was like looking in the stalls. And then when I turned around, there was this creature. And it was like, it was hunched over. It almost gave me like, what is that show? Like, I don't like Stranger Things. It was all black, but it was trying to give me something.
Maybe it was a black cat?
It was not a black cat.
What did it look like?
I just described it. It was like, it was a creature. It was a figure. So like when it tried to hand me, like when I turned around, it startled me so much that like I woke up out of my sleep. I was like, I remember gasping, but like I was still foggy as if I had traveled somewhere. And I went back to sleep, but I felt like I had came up from somewhere. And I told the person who had created the song what happened. And he didn't give me, he was just like, I think I know, but I'm gonna leave it to you to try to figure out. Months and months and months go by, and like I keep on like going back to this dream. Like I'm trying to figure out like what that figure was, and I came across someone's post because I ended up going to a class.
I think I know what it is. What shape was
it? I don't know, baby. I'm not sure.
Did it kind of look like us, but it was did it look like this?
It was hunched over. It was crawling. It tried to give me something. So when it tried to give me something, when I woke up, I sat, well, in the morning, I sat with it, and I was just like, not with it, but I sat with the vision or whatever that you want to call it. And I was like, I wanted to heal it. I wanted to heal it. Like it startled me, but I wasn't scared of it. I just wanted to heal it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone posted something. I can't remember like the person, but they talked about not the tree of life. What's the bottom portion called of the tree of life?
That's the roots.
So I discovered based on, I don't even know how I even found myself down this rabbit hole, but I was able to name that particular demon. I was able to name that particular demon because of some of the conversations that had occurred, and
what did you name it?
I'm not calling it by name. I'm not giving it that authority, like, because when I found out what it was and I said it out loud, I ended up hitting my leg. And then when I was doing research, it said that if this demon knows that you have figured it out, it'll end up hurting your leg. It was interesting. So I ended up reaching out to the person, and I finally told them we were no longer in contact. And I said, was this something that was sent to you or to me? They never, I sent an email. They never answered me back, but it was more so like, you got the message. This is what it was. I explained like exactly why, like how I determined what it was based on its connections to France, and the fact that its enemy was Mary Magdalene, and all these other different synchronicities that aligned with how I figured out what it was. And
what was it?
I just said, it was something that wasn't good. It was something that wasn't good.
I want to know. Please, I won't tell my friends at school.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
So, you brought up France.
The cat.
France is the home of Paris.
Yes.
Paris is the Parthenon of Isis.
I already showed him. Say that again for me, please.
The Parthenon of Isis, that's the name, or Par-Isis is the name of Paris. Paris is the short version of the name.
You're gonna have to. You lost me there.
Paris
Mm-hmm.
is the name of Paris is not Paris. That's the short form.
Okay.
The actual name is Parthenon of Isis,
Parthenon of Isis.
which means great city of Isis. In Paris, there's a monument called the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
That's a homonym. I fell. And the tower is there to commemorate a treaty. That's where we got stabbed in the back. It's called the Paris Accord. Paris Accord was the agreement between two corporations to do business together over here in harmony. Or as they say, in peace and friendship. These two corporations, one was a merger for the Create the United States Corporation, Inc. It was called the Northwest Trading Company and the Virginia Company. It became known as United States Corporation, Inc. and signed a trade agreement with the Royal Moroccan Company. These is the people that came over here as conquistadors and as French noble exiles from Europe. They believed that none of us would know the difference between them or us at the close of the age. Therefore, they would have a valid and viable claim to Earth and to the Americas because we would have forfeited our right of ownership by not taking ownership and taking the authority to reconstruct or restore the land, the water, and the air by following the great law. Well, they was wrong. So they lost. We won. Right? So now we watch the stage show play out as they suck their last little sips of power from the bottom in communion cups.
Look like it's gonna be an all night of going down the rabbit hole.
Look, I'm gonna take one more person in before I go, but inbox me. I'm gonna put you together a program.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right.
You got me.
I got you. So also, I think Notre Dame University is in France, where they use academics to come up with the slave narrative. That's why the slave ship that they be drawing, that we supposed to have been packed on like sardines is a perfect overlay for Notre Dame University because it was derived from the blueprint of the university that the academic miseducation program will be instituted. They gotta give you a way to figure it out, but they don't gotta tell you. That's why Notre Dame got his ass lit up, the cathedral. Hey,
Hi.
how you doing?
Good and you?
I'm good. Where you calling from?
Paterson, well, New Jersey.
Paterson, New Jersey?
Yeah, I spoke to you like probably like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember.
Mhm. I have a question. I had a dream about me being on a plane and all of a sudden a kid hand just got attached to my hand. I don't know if I grabbed him or he just grabbed me. And the guy that had him was like, "Oh, I was gonna bring him to his mother or something," and then he just started walking up the getting off the plane or something. Then he tried to grab another kid, and then I said, "Hey, let him go," and then he ended up dropping him and running off. And I'm supposed to be going on a to DR soon, so I was wondering what type of significance does that have?
Well, it might not be related at all because the way you described the dream is you was in the plane
Mhm.
and either when you was sitting next to a kid and the kid grabbed your hand or either you grabbed the kid hand.
Mhm.
All right, that's a mother response. You got children?
No, I got just nephews and a little sister.
Okay, so you could have been with your little sister or your nephews or niece or whatever,
You
right?
said you said what again?
You could have been somewhere with your nephew's niece or something, whatever the case may be. But you protect her. You're the protector.
Mhm. Okay.
When they with you, you feel like they under your protection.
Yeah. Also, I had another dream, but it's kind of strange in a way because I've been trying to like get my family back together, but it's like they don't want to come together because it's like it's molesters in my family, like more than two, more than three. So people don't want to contact each other or don't even want to talk to each other because I called one out, and the family, they just separated. Yeah.
At that point, the ones that's with you, the rest of them, because we not doing that in this next go round. And none of that secret squirrel tuck the molester away so he's safe and sound to do it again. No,
Yeah.
you either gonna stop him while he's young or he gonna get dealt with.
Yeah. It's a lot. Uh,
So, under them conditions, you ain't got to kiss nobody ass. Just go on and do what you do with the family you that want to support the molesters. Oh well, they can
yeah.
get it. They can.
Thinking because my sisters, we don't want to contact them or like, and the kids they don't really know their cousins or anything because they be by the molesters. So it's like it's kind of hard because it's just three of them, and it's all like older women like me and my other sisters and my mother. So it's really really just us, like a handful. Hmm.
Look, anybody, we breaking these generational curses and we stopping this shit now. This is not okay. On this generation that's coming up as the elders now, we unilaterally across the board.
Hmm.
I don't know none of them that support them. All that old keep the good the don't tell nobody on the bad man so the good man don't get punished. Punish our ass. You don't have to be subject to anybody that supports and condone that shit.
And sometimes I have dreams in a way where I feel as though like it's like someone was covering up, but I don't want to think that they was because it'd be even more heartbreaking. So sometimes I don't know how to interpret my dream in a way and what it's to say. I don't know if I'm projecting my my fear or my my negative thoughts, but I'm still trying to learn and just
Okay,
figure it out.
so this is the rule. If it's evidence to support how you feel, then it ain't just how you feel alone. But if you don't have no reason to feel that way with no evidence to support it, that's just you feeling some kind of way.
Yeah, that's what I figured too.
But if what's real is what's real,
Hmm.
you know, and we not supporting that shit, we not condoning that shit, and we ain't. That's why we go into the matriarchal system, because the women surround the children and the men surround the women, and anybody get to them kids, be done went through hell first.
Yeah. Okay. And can I ask one more question? Is
Mm-hmm.
it's about me seeing stuff like in the clouds and stuff. Like I see unicorn shapes like clouds and
Those spirit
man
messages.
on a horse, and I see a whole bunch of stuff like a whole bunch. I even got a picture. I want to send it to you, but I don't want to creep out or I don't know what it is or anything like that. But I don't know if I like if it's okay to send it to you or
Yeah,
not.
just send it to me and say, Ryan, what is this?
Okay, because there's many faces inside of it, and so I'm gonna send you it and stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything that you're doing.
Okay. Thank you, sweetie. You ain't if you can't protect these kids, then you ain't got no right being here. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
Where you chiming in from?
Right now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, or Lithonia, I should say.
ATL in the building.
Yeah, yeah. One question I had was about like you say, the Hayoka. Like you go into a little few details about them here and there, but I was wondering if you could get more in depth.
What you want to know about them? What do you
So,
think you're missing?
so like, where exactly they from?
All of the tribes could produce a Hayoka.
Mm.
It's called the sacred clown. And
Oh.
the reason why they call him the sacred clown or the madman, right, is because normally he's so far ahead of everybody else he sound crazy.
Mm.
Right? So when they by the time they catch up to where he at, he be that much further ahead of them still.
Yeah.
So the elders learned to listen to what they were saying and created the Hayoka priesthood around those ones that was being born into the families. And they break generational curses, and they also come as evolved spirits to teach certain life lessons to humanity at different levels.
Mm. Okay. Mm.